I grew up in the most beautiful and peaceful place you can imagine. My family and I stood on a hill overlooking the whole forest. I lived there for over 60 years. One early morning, unfamiliar sounds began approaching us. We heard voices and saw people below us. They chopped us down one by one. As I laid, now horizontal, I dreamt about what I was going to become. They loaded us onto a truck and drove down a very dusty road. The ride was bumpy, shaking the ants and bugs out of our roughly shaped bark. I took the time to see new parts of the forest I had never seen before. After hours of driving, they unloaded us. Here, a machine chopped me into a million pieces. Disconnected from myself, I was poured into a tub of water. Once I was officially mush, they poured me out to dry, and I heard them call me paper. I hoped I would become a book, a blank canvas for great stories. A big shock came when a clear, suffocating blanket was laid on top of me. She told me they kept calling her plastic. Now fused together, metal machines cut and formed us into a new shape. We were no longer flat, but round and upright. They packed us into a box and closed it shut. It smelled salty now, and I heard men yelling around me. I thought back to my roots that were left in the forest. It was strange being so small and stacked upon each other. I used to be tall, with all the spaces I could ever wish for. Suddenly I heard so many voices. I felt so far from home. One hand reached in and took me out. The grip was tight. I could see my reflection in a window. Was that really me? I was shaken. My veins and fibers had turned completely white. Written in colorful ink, it said, "It's coffee o'clock," on my stomach. At that moment, it all became clear to me. It was a fate I could never have predicted. Suddenly, I was being filled with hot coffee, only for it to leave me in a sip by sip. It took an agonizing, humiliating 45 seconds until it was over. All of a sudden, I felt myself falling with force, face down into darkness. I was surrounded by other abandoned cups, candy wrappers, and a moldy sandwich. I was confused and alone. As I laid there, I thought to myself, was that really my entire life?